Well, lying presents a great problem. It's the complete reverse of integrity. It furnishes people with a world in which nothing holds together. And you cannot build, you cannot create, you cannot put things right. Uncertainty is magnified. So what do you do as regards persons who lie spontaneously? You keep away from them, dear one. Dare I say, it's the epitome of evil. You're deceived. Deception is everywhere. You think this is part of the world, and it's not. It's an absolute menace. Integrity, you see, is everything. You can't build on sand. You can't build with sand. Not in that state. It's got to hold together. I suppose if I'm thinking literally in that context, if you heat the sand enough and melt it together into a stone, when it solidifies, now you can build. But if you put enough energy into it and the stone melts, well, the building collapses, doesn't it? If it's made of stone. And I suppose, thinking of it, as that comes to mind, that if you put too much energy into any material, it melts, and you can't build with it. In a not sure how vivid a way, persons are like that too. With too much energy, they are so unstable that they become unreliable. I suppose in that case the energy has to be commensurate with the body keeping its form, else the body melts. But I digress, don't I? And coming back to it, if you're confronted with someone that lies, as I've said it before, haven't I, that in court, then their whole witness is discounted, or should be. Otherwise, you're using potential lies to try and make good decisions, and it spoils the outcome. So, I'm afraid one has to keep a liar far from one. It's sort of foundational, isn't it? It's very sad. It's going to be something that has to alienate persons from each other because it wrecks their decision making. And good decision making is incredibly important, isn't it? Does the Jesus story? Yes, it does say something about it, doesn't it? I seem to have in the back of my mind Jesus saying that so-and-so was a liar from the beginning and the father thereof, as if in some sense this was a foundational disqualification, fundamentally to be lying. Now, I suppose I'd fall back even so on, it's not an iron principle. There are times when I don't tell the open truth because it will hurt, and I can see no good that will come of it. Because there is something greater than telling the truth, and that is to be loving and kind. And I do mean truly so. I don't mean just, I'm not quite sure how to say it, just being a smoothie and not facing difficulties. But I do mean there is a truth that can hurt people and be very damaging. But in general, if you hide a truth from someone, then you restrict their possibility to make good decisions. If, on the other hand, they are malevolent, as in war, your enemy, then it's not a good idea to be open and truthful, is it? There may be all sorts of principles in a war situation that are not appropriate to peace. And it may be the case that sometimes war is necessary. But it is by its very nature destructive. And well, you don't want to be in a war situation if you can possibly avoid it. But sometimes you can't because of oppression. If you don't go to war. Again, I wonder if the Jesus story has something to say that will help. I think overall it does. It says we are not of the world. Be ye separate. I'm not building a world order. I don't think Jesus was. That's not something spiritual. Whatever you build in this world will pass away. But spiritual things are different. In spiritual things we're building something of our intentions, which are far more important somehow than what we manage to build or don't manage to build. You could say, no, that's not true. After all, if you don't build enough safety, perhaps you're dead. And then there's nothing gained spiritually. Well, I think I turn it round the other way, that the world is only of value in as far as it builds the spiritual. We are spirit. God is spirit. And they that worship him, in other words, they that are devoted to God, are worshipped to something that is spiritual, which is something about values, inclinations, purpose. More specifically, loving kindness, peace and joy, meaning and hope and creativity and love and kindness. Says he, repeating himself, but it's of values, isn't it? What would you rather have? The most creative person in the world or the most loving? Well, I've got a feeling there's almost You can't say or there, because in love there is an incredible creativity, isn't there? But in some sense, creativity is subservient to love. Creativity is very much thought of in physical terms, whereas love has an indispensable value term, doesn't it? In particular of helpfulness, kindness, sincerity. It's associated with all the good values, isn't it? Whereas creativity in itself, cold, well, you can be incredibly creative. You can make a city or an aircraft carrier. But it might not be of good intent. And incredibly damaging, mightn't it? But to come back to where I started, dear one, be extremely cautious of the person that lies. You cannot have them in close fellowship. It will be an absolute menace. You don't want them in court. They're of no help to you. They are a deception and a trap. You know, I mean, the most secular, worldly courtroom nonetheless wants you to pledge on oath that you're going to tell the truth, which is a way of saying without truth, where are we? In a hell. I rest my case. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.